Now for a little fun, we got a contest for all the vets and active duty guys here. It's called Testimony to Incompetence. I have a feeling we may have some experts in the audience. And in case there's any misunderstanding, whoever can have share with us the best story of incompetence in the military, we've got some prizes, and we've got these great IVAW keychains. I know it's not much, but you'll never forget this day. So I'll start this off with a little story from when I was in Fallujah, working at a civil military ops center, and this is when the fighting had flared up in June in 2004. And our facility was closed due to heavy fighting. So we had to go out there. We had our checkpoint at the front, and we had a machine gun overwatch with 2 Marines, and I went out there with 1 other Marine to turn people away. And I got a call on the radio on my little handheld. Of course, we didn't have real ISRs in civil affairs, so we used walkie-talkies, and everybody gave us shit for that because it was unauthorized, but it was like,
we wouldn't have given you shit.
We can do our mission. We can do our mission or not, you know. So we use these walkie-talkies, and of course we were really careful about what we said over them. But I got this call. My call sign was Cartman because I was the heaviest guy on our team, and it was Cartman. This is Keister over. Keister, this is Cartman. Go ahead. And he's like, I need you to get on the secure line. We had a hard line connected to the office that was like in our compound about 500 yards away, and so I get on the hard line, and it's perfectly secure, right? Direct line from my post into the office, hard wire, right? No chance of, you know, intercepting this communication whatsoever, unless you were somehow tapped in on this line. And, you know, I didn't see anyone standing between me and the building. So I got on the phone, and I'm like, go ahead, Keister, what's going on? He's like, I need you to go out on the road, and this is the freeway between Fallujah and Baghdad, and there's a highway going, and there's cars going by like 40, 50 miles an hour, right? And he says, hey, I need you to get up on the freeway and stop any black Opals you see. And the first thing I say is, what the fuck is an Opal? And as I'm thinking this, I'm like, shouldn't I be asking why? We're being asked to get out on this freeway and stop some random fucking vehicle. And he's like, it's a small European sedan. Okay. I ask him, I'm like, well, all right, Staff Sergeant, why are we doing this? Well, we can't tell you. Well, this is a secure line. I'll be up with you later and I'll let you know. So I grab this 1 other Marine, and there's a tree line by the road, and I tell these guys on the machine gun overwatch, they can't even see down the highway. And I say, all right guys, fucking cover me. And so I go out to the road, and there's a berm going up to the road, and so I lay down like this, like facing down the highway. It's something like 120 degrees out, and there's all these heat waves coming off the freeway, right? Fallujah's like 1.5 miles down the road. Baghdad's like, what, 40 miles down the road in the other direction? Well, I'm lying there on the side of the concrete, you know, like my arms burning on this shit. I'm just sighted down the road, and I'm like, I see this black blur just getting bigger and bigger, like 1 mile away, and I'm like, hey, Double, you think that's a black Opal? Yeah. And he goes, Sergeant, that's a black blur. And so I get up in the road, and I'm standing there with my rifle, and I go, Kef, stop. You know, and this car is coming at like 50 miles an hour, and I'm just like, fuck. And so as it zooms by me, I'm about to shoot out its tires, and I see it start to pull over. Thank God. But I run up, and I get to the driver's side window, and I go there, and I open the door, and I tell the guy to get out, and I speak enough Arabic, I can communicate this. I'm like, get out of the car, and I drag him off the other side of the car, and of course the other devil dog comes around the other side, and he's sighted in. I tell him I need to search you, turn around, put your hands up. So he puts his hands up, and I pat him down, and I go, I need to look in your trunk, and he opens his trunk, and it's just personal shit. He's got his wife and kids in the car. And I get on the radio, I'm like, Keister, this is Cartman, got a black Opal, 1 pack, please advise, over. And he goes, all right, stand by, I'll be there in a minute. Now he's in the air-conditioned office, you know, 500 plus yards away. Gets geared up, gets his rifle, comes out there, comes running up to me. And he looks at me, and he looks at this dude, and he pulls out the Al-Zarqawi wanted poster.
What?
No. And goes, it's not him, let him go. And I was just like, motherfucker. You sent me a civil affairs pogue, you know, and one other grunt, fucking Lance Corporal, to do it to stop Al Zarqawi as he's escaping from Fallujah. Oh, and one other thing. If y'all think this would be worthwhile, let me know. I think this might be a good book. If we can on this tour get a lot of good stories put together, testimony to incompetence. So if people want to make submissions at a later date by email, I'll be compiling them. If nothing else, they'll get on my blog. I've got a pretty decent readership at this point. I think this would be kind of content they would appreciate.
That would be